Good afternoon. Welcome on into today's episode of From Today One. Courtesy of a good friend, Mike from Law Talk with Mike. He's got a very good one for us tonight. So I married a stripper. What could go wrong in court? And that's our preface. So let's get to court and find out.
There's only one attorney, right? All right.
Hello. This is Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago, as usual, and we have got us a Donnybrook. It gets so much worse. As the thumbnail suggests, this guy married a stripper, and it goes kind of the way you think it would. But let's continue our ongoing series in the power of love here at Law Talk with Mike.
All right, guys, we're just waiting.
It's sped up, but the audio is excellent. So it's you're not imagining things. The audio is sped up, but that's the way I got it.
Waiting for everybody to connect here.
I think I'm here.
Yep, you're here. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
And sir, how do you pronounce your last name?
Tortomosi?
Okay, I appreciate that.
No
And just so you know,
problem
Mr. Tortomosi does not yet have audio connected, so we're just waiting for defendant's audio to connect before we begin. It looks like it's connected now. All right, good morning, everybody. I am referee Brian Nicholas with the Macomb County Family Court, and we're here on the case of Tortomosi versus Tortomosi, case number 2022-7917-DM. And counsel, could you please state your appearance for the record?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Mary DeRoss appearing on behalf of the plaintiff father, Anthony Tortomosi.
All right, and sir, your name for the record?
Anthony Tortomosi?
All right, and do we have Ms. Tortomosi here as well? Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, your name for the record?
Stephanie Tortomosi.
And ma'am, are you able to turn your camera on? If you can, we'd greatly appreciate that.
Yep. Oh.
Not working for you?
Yeah, it's just not working.
Okay, and Mr. Tortomosi, you recognize Ms. Tortomosi's voice?
Yes.
All right, so if you get that working as you go along, feel free to do so. However, if unable, it does appear it's Ms. Tortomosi based on plaintiff's indication that is her. All right, I want to thank everybody for appearing via Zoom today. Please realize that even though you're appearing remotely, this is a legal proceeding, just as if everybody was here and present in the courtroom. Mr. Tortomosi or Ms. Tortomosi, any questions for myself or counsel that this, in fact, is a legal proceeding today?
No.
No.
All right, and we're here today on plaintiff's motion to enforce the judgment of divorce in regards to legal custody to prevent defendant from appearing at the children's school and prohibiting posting of children's photos on social media. And just so you know, Ms. Tortomosi, you will be given a full opportunity to respond once counsel's done with her argument, okay?
Okay.
All right, and counsel, if you'd like to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. It gives me no great pleasure in taking up the court's time this morning. I did attempt to send a copy of this motion along with a letter urging Ms. Tortomosi to remove the pictures from social media to avoid having to appear today, but that did not occur. Just by way of background, Your Honor, a judgment was entered on August 16th, 2022, and in that it granted plaintiff father sole legal and sole physical custody of the minor children. That because of that provision, it's our assertion that defendant mother has no authority to appear at the children's school, to remove them from school, or to otherwise appear outside her structured parenting time, which is supervised. There is also contained in that judgment, although it was loosely worded, and we would like some clarification from the court today, that she shall not post any pictures of the children on social media, that this should include members of her family. Recently, the maternal grandfather was posting various pictures of the children on social media, and because of his conviction in the past for being a predator, we would urge the clause to be expanded to include any of her family members. Therefore, we're asking the court to enter an order prohibiting her from appearing at the children's school, and also from providing pictures of the minor children either on social media or to any of her family members. We want to prohibit her from doing that. And failure to comply with that, I would ask the court to indicate that she'll be prohibited from taking pictures, period, of her children.
Okay, so let me ask this question. So this judgment was a default judgment entered on August 16, 2022. I'm going to be honest, guys. And is there any allegations these pictures were inappropriate anyway? Were they just pictures of the children and that anyone would want or post as a parent?
Mr.
And
Tortomosi,
Mr.
why don't you-
Tortomosi, this is for you. I mean, was there anything inappropriate in these pictures, or were these pictures that a parent would have of their children?
It's really not inappropriate. What it is her crowd of people that she's around. She hangs around with dangerous people, and it puts my kids in jeopardy.
So tell me how posting pictures that we agree, and I understand your.
I actually feel for this guy. It's not gonna prevent me from laughing at the situation, but I actually do feel bad for him. I think he's earnest.
Saying they're not inappropriate. They're pictures that any parent would have of a child. Would that be a correct statement as a starting point?
Correct.
So there's nothing. So what is the danger of third party? So lots of people post pictures of their children on social media. Lots of people see social media. What is the danger of a parent, being their mother, posting regular pictures of children that lots of parents do? And
Because
I see this is
she's friends with.
But so you think, what are these people going to do if they see pictures of your children?
If she makes somebody mad with her habits that she has, and they want to go after her kids, that puts them in endangerment.
Okay. So let me ask this: how long were you guys married?
You'll also find out it's very interesting because he admits they're normal pictures. There's not something wrong with them, but there's an existing order currently that she's not supposed to do it.
Around 8 years, I'd say. I'm not exactly
Okay.
sure.
And how long were you guys split up before you divorced on August 16th of 2022?
I don't know. I'm going to say about a half year, but the first 5 years, things been going sour since the first 5 years when I found out.
So who are all these? So you guys were together 8 years. She was associating with all these dangerous, horrible people
Oh, no,
during your marriage?
when she was with me, she did not associate with any of them. It's when she leaves and goes on her spree. When she leaves, she goes right back to her old habits.
And what are the habits that you're alleging?
Drugs. She would prostitute. And that's it. That's all I need to know.
And that was happening during your marriage? You would split up
No,
and have
this
periods of
is when
separation?
this is when she would leave, because I feel like she would have a relapse. So then she would leave, and then we try, and it's a repeat. It's been repeat ever since the first 5 years.
And have you guys
I mean, I'm not there, but I tend to actually believe this guy's version of events.
have not been back since entry of your judgment? Would that be a correct statement? I don't see. There's not been counsel legal action since
Correct.
the judgment? Okay. All right. And why do you think how do you know she's participated in solicitation and alleged that she's using drugs and participating in solicitation, probably arguably to obtain money for drugs? Why do you think that, or how do you know that?
I've seen emails on her email account. I have proof.
From back when you were married, you don't have access to her emails anymore, right? Now that you're
Not
divorced.
anymore, but for some reason, my daughter's email was connected with her email, and I'd get those emails. And I have emails that I've saved in the past, and nothing's changed with her.
Emails of people saying what?
Of her trying to leave the country with other guys on these websites and asking them that she's open to do anything. It wasn't really drugs related. It was more like trying to find a sugar daddy related, hooking up for
Okay.
money.
Okay. Time currently per your judgment?
Correct.
Okay. And the parenting time, remind me of what that schedule is.
If she is facilitated by my mother, she comes once a week. She visits for an hour. She calls the kids, which is fine. That's all right. It's
Okay.
all fine.
And you think that if any of these people see pictures of your children, they'll somehow know what they look like to locate them?
You never know. These people on their social media, they're lowest of the lowest. They have nothing to lose. Those are the most dangerous people there are.
Okay. All right. So let me ask this question. So ma'am, this is your opportunity to respond, but just as a starting point, and guys, you guys have a judgment. And ma'am, I'm going to direct this towards you. You have a judgment of divorce, a default judgment. So you were not there when it got entered. Is that a correct statement, ma'am? You didn't go to court or make any statements to the judge or take issue with any of these provisions?
Well, that is correct, Your Honor. I actually was living in the house with Anthony and the children the time that the last court date was being processed. He lied to me and said I didn't have to be there, and turns out I did have to be there.
Okay.
I also have been living in the house since December 31st of 2022 up until August 22nd of this year.
Sweet Jesus. What?
Left and everything.
That's the thing that blew me away. Yeah, I mean, she was there till August 23rd this year. After this guy testifies 5 years of this stuff. I get it. You have kids together, but that's a hard no.
was going fine these past 8 months. We started fighting and arguing, and I thought that it was time for me to just go. I since then have had gotten hired at McLaren affiliated nursing home in Port Huron, Michigan. I took a drug test 2 weeks ago in order to get this job. And I'm doing everything right. What he is saying is
okay. So just pause. You said a few things, sir. So I'm going to go. So you guys were reconciled from December 2022 through August 22nd, 2023.
correct. We were living together and taking care of the children.
So let's take a pause. So Mr. Turnamosi, were you in fact, was she living with you from December 2022 through August 22nd of this year? Till a few weeks ago?
She came back a couple of times.
I mean, I feel bad for me. He made a mistake, but I mean, you can't wife it up. We all know it. Everybody knows it.
She even came and worked for my company, put her on payroll. Didn't work out.
Okay.
She left a couple weeks ago. I was in a room with my kids. I caught her doing cocaine, and I caught her sending videos to guys. And I have proof of it. I have proof of the videos. I have proof of the text messages and everything. When she did come back, I think she was pregnant by somebody else too. I helped her out with that.
So let me ask this. So how old is your children?
8 and 9.
And so when she was there back and forth from December through August, what's
She
her
was always
interaction with the kids?
supervised by me or my mother. She was never alone with these kids. Never.
But what does that mean when you're supervising her? You're in the other room or what?
We're together. We're under the same roof.
So what was her interaction with the kids while you were together in the house?
I did everything for them.
She was trying, and she did some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, she helped out.
So what did she do? What was the stuff she was doing? And ma'am, I'll let you respond in a moment.
What do you mean by that, sir?
So she just said I was doing everything. What was she doing on a date? What were you doing and what was she doing? And what was your routine on a day-to-day basis?
Work and take care of the kids.
So who made breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
My mother, me, or her.
So your mom lives with you at your
My
house?
mom lives with us. My mom is a huge asset to these kids because I'm very busy.
Okay, well, that's
She doesn't
great
lie.
to have that's always good to have loving family members. So your mom was doing all the cooking? Miss
No.
Mosi didn't participate?
99% of the
Well,
cooking.
Okay.
Wait, so a guy that lives with his mom can't keep a stripper under control? I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
And who took the kids to the store, to the doctor's appointment, or do they do extracurriculars or anything? Who did all
We
that?
all took part in that.
We all took part of it.
He's
Okay.
he's stating that he doesn't want me at the school, but for the past 8 months, I went to every school function, field trips, took them to and from school.
And I was there. And I was
You were
there.
not all the time.
So, sir,
I was there
what did she
every
do?
time. So don't
Guys,
start this
stop.
stuff.
Bad combo.
Stop, sir. When I say stop, you stop. When I talk, you both stop talking. Got me? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm asking a question. All right. So, sir, she's at all the events. What did she act inappropriate in any way over the last 8 months when you were living together?
No, that's the problem. When she's here, she was good. But then she goes on a drug binge, okay? And there's been nothing but issues. Since the first 5 years when I realized she had drug problems, it's been nothing but issues. She has mental problems. She needs help, and she won't get it.
So,
I tried to
okay,
help
so stop. Let's take these. What are the alleged mental health problems and how did they exhibit themselves from December 2022 through August of this year when you were reconciled?
I'm sorry, I don't understand that.
So you say she has mental problems. How do they exhibit themselves?
The
How do they
chemical
exhibit
imbalance,
themselves?
One minute she'll be happy. The kids will ask her for something to eat. She'll flip out. It's bipolar. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, but she needs to see one.
Did she go to the doctor the last?
I tried
year
helping
when-
her. She'll take her medicine, then she'll quit taking it.
All right. So ma'am, do you want to add to this dialogue your thoughts or?
Really, Rachel? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
Yes, I would just like to say that I was cooking dinner, taking the kids to school, breakfast, lunch, my mental problem. I got mad at Anthony, as couples do. We argued back and forth, but I never took my anger out on the children. I've never hit my children or anything like that, unlike Anthony.
So do you want to respond that he came and caught you using cocaine and that you're soliciting people online, either video or otherwise? You want to?
If I was using cocaine, the only time I was using it was with Anthony Tortomosi. So
Absolutely not. You were doing it in Aruba when I was other countries with kids.
Sir, talk to me. I don't want you guys arguing with each other. Guys, this is what happens if you guys don't listen to me. I revoke your privilege to be on Zoom. That is a privilege, not a right, being remote. If you guys can't listen to me, I will have you come in here in person in the future for motions. You will have to park at the courthouse and sit in my courtroom.
That's it, Lauren.
That's probably inconvenient.
Right
so I
there.
suggest you listen to me and not argue with each other and talk one at a time. I
Hold
can
the
hear you one at a
glory
time.
of
I've done this
simping.
25 years. I was a private family attorney before the court. Guys, no one's going to get a zinger in there. So stop talking over each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So,
Yes,
sir,
Your
she's
Honor.
now talking. I don't want you to call her a liar or interject. You wait till she's done, and then you and your attorney can respond. So I'm listening to her respond, and then you started saying no, da 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 da. So before she responds, Mr. Turnamosi, have you used narcotics with her in the
No.
from December 22 to August? So she's a liar.
No.
When she says you guys use coke together, you're lying. She's a liar.
Correct.
Okay. So, ma'am.
That judge did not believe him for 1 second right there. I don't either, although I think most of the other stuff he's saying, but he didn't fess up to illegal drug use in court. You know.
What is your current living situation?
I am living with my father at the time. And like I said, I understand why he doesn't want the children here, being his record. He is not a child molester. It says nowhere in his arrest record that he ever molested or touched a child. So right there, they're making that up.
So tell me what the reality is. If that's not true, what is the truth?
He was charged with doing stuff on the computer. I'm not exactly sure what it was. It was distributing child pornography or what it was. I'm not sure.
Sweet Jesus. What?
How long did he go to prison for that?
He didn't.
This has been going fast and furious. In case you missed it, we are now talking about her father, who she lives with.
Spend a day in prison, Your Honor.
He didn't. Was he in jail, the county jail, for an
He
extended
was
period
in
of time?
county jail for 2 days.
How long ago was that?
This was, I would say 7 to 10 years ago. I'm not exactly sure.
So 7 to 10 years. So during the 8 years you guys were married, was your dad having contact with the children when you guys were together?
Yes, he's actually
year?
not the last year, because Mr. Tortomosi did not like him for speaking his mind to him. But yes, in the past 3 years, he has been in contact with the kids. He has been over at our house for birthday parties, Christmases, and spent plenty of time with the children.
So so now take a breath, guys. I'm going to move to procedurally here. So ma'am, so when you got that August 16, 2022 judgment divorce, and you say he tricked you and not to going or whatever, let me play devil's advocate. So if I believe you and say he tricked you into not going, when did you finally get a copy of the judgment, finding out that it gave you supervised by his mother, and that you couldn't post any form of pictures on social media, which are specific provisions in the judgment? When did you get that judgment and find out those provisions were there?
I left Thanksgiving of last year. I had left the house again for us fighting, us arguing, us bickering. And then when I left and came to my dad's, that's when I found out the parenting time and everything. I actually had my sister call me Thanksgiving Day to say that we were divorced. I had no idea that we were divorced.
So you find out in Thanksgiving of 2022. Is there a reason you haven't filed a motion coming back to court to say, hey, there's this provision about not posting pictures. Hey, it gives me restricted supervised parenting time. Is there a reason you didn't come back to court and say, hey, these are really restrictive provisions and I want to be able to post pictures and I want to have unsupervised or time that's not supervised by?
Yeah, that's the way I read it, Betsy. Like he was down for the party, but until she, insulted him enough times, and now he's gonna act holier than thou about it.
His mother, who lived with you guys, is there a reason you haven't come back to say, hey, I didn't know this judgment was on her?
I haven't done anything because I went back with him and I was living there and everything. So I just, everything was going great in my eyes. And then when I left this time, yes, I am working on it. I actually would like I'd rather have a lawyer handle the situation for me. So I will be able to pay a lawyer this Friday. And so I'm just going to have him handle it all.
Well, it's up to you whether you have attorneys or not, guys. I'm here now listening to you. So, and if you get an attorney, make sure they know that he has counsel, because they'll let Mr. Ross know. Correct. So what is your thoughts? What is your intent? What do you think the order should be? If you don't because as a starting point, guys, the court views orders as clear on their face. That means if your order clearly says you shall not post pictures of your children, that's a provision right now that's in this judgment.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm just making a point. It's in the judgment. You've never changed that. So at a starting point, when they say, we want to enforce this provision, you have a provision that says, don't post pictures of your children.
Correct.
Why we're having this big, long dialogue is I'm wondering how you got there and what's the dynamics. I've now heard them. But as a starting point, you have a provision in a judgment that says you shall not post pictures. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. And you're planning to ask that parenting time be modified, and you're going to file a motion to that effect?
Yes, and I'm going to file a motion so I can post pictures, I guess, of my children on social media, as you stated.
So when he says that he's worried that you associate with people that are either that you're that are hiring you in an illegal manner, or that are drug users that would potentially prey on your children? What is your response to that?
I'm not doing any of those things. Like I said, I am working at a nursing home through McLaren. I start school October 11th to become a registered nurse. I'm starting a CNA program this Wednesday. So any of these old habits that I may or may have not done are in the past. I'm working on getting my children and getting my life together so I can take care of them and get them out of the situation living with their father.
So where do you think he's getting these allegations from? They're pretty extreme allegations. Where do you think he's getting this stuff from? Or why is he making them?
Because when me and Mr. Tortomosi did get together the 12 years ago that we started dating, we met at a strip club. So yes, I was a stripper, but we met there.
Okay. And guys, just as an aside, if you're doing anything online that's legal, OnlyFans, whatever, right, I'm just using that as an example. Are you doing things that are legal online, ma'am?
Everything that I'm doing is legal online. I do not have any
Tell me about your OnlyFans career, would you please? It's so deliciously awkward. I love it.
OnlyFans. I'm not on any dating sites. I don't even have a Facebook. So everything that I'm doing is just, I feel I'm doing nothing wrong.
So you're not doing anything online that's legal that would be, for instance, termed adult entertainment, the adult industry.
I'm not doing any adult entertainment.
Okay. And guys, why I ask that is I'm not assuming it. I'm just saying there's a difference between illegal and legal. So if there's something going on legally that's being, argued that it's illegal, there's a difference. And there's
okay, Judge. I'm not going to judge you for doing legal.
So those things that we just talked about are legal. So I just want everyone to be honest. If it's something legal that's being interpreted as illegal, I want to know. And if there's nothing happening, I want you to argue that too. And so, ma'am, you're saying you're not engaging in any kind of adult entertainment or adult industry, legal or otherwise, is your position?
Correct. I'm not doing any of those things.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Tortomosi, you assert she's lying to me right now? She's lying to the court?
I have text messages when I was in Aruba with the kids. I can get copies of conversations, the videos, the pictures. The reason she left in November is because I found out she was pregnant with someone else's kid, which I paid for the abortion for her.
Okay.
And her dad, he was never around. All those years we were together, her whole side of the family didn't come to anything but her mom. Her dad probably came to 3 events, really knows my kids, and that's the way I want to keep it.
Okay. And guys, why are we doing all this? And I appreciate counsel's being very patient with me and not interjecting here. Why I got into this, guys, is if she files a motion for parenting time, this is all going to be a debate. So the point I'm making here right now is, guys, if there's any way for you guys to talk, which sounds like it's pretty hard right now, counsel can help you guys facilitate some kind of agreement. It sounds like she's going to be filing a motion. This stuff is all going to get referred. And why I'm talking about it right now is there's any way for you guys to resolve any of this without her filing a motion. You guys can talk and potentially counsel can assist you in preparing some kind of order. If not, she's going to file a motion and this is all going to come out. Why I just wanted to hear where you started, how you got here. But you guys have a pretty big divide between your positions right now. All I'm going to say right now in regards to this order today is one, as there is a default judgment entered on August 16, 2022, which bars posting of the minor children by defendant on social media. Her and her family shall not do so, absent further order of the court. And ma'am, I'm going to make you bring that motion yourself. This is a judgment that's been entered, so I'm not going to refer it necessarily without you taking the step to file a motion and assert why that shouldn't exist anymore. And let's see here. And what else would you like me to address today, counsel?
Her showing up at school if it's not her parents.
All right, so let's talk about that briefly. So ma'am, did you take the children out of school or you were just going to visit them? What went on with the school?
The last time I was at
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and call the afternoon close. Come on back to the evening to pick up the conclusion, and then we'll have a self-sit afterwards. Thanks for watching from day one.